They didn't knock, didn't ask, just showed up one morning with bulldozers and survey stakes, carving a straight path through the pasture I'd built with my own hands over 2 decades. The HOA called it a community enhancement, claiming their new road needed to slice through my ranch for better access, but they hadn't filed a single permit or offered a dime in compensation. They barely glanced my way. I warned them, gave them every opportunity to back off. But when I began cutting across their private subdivision road with my hay trailer, they lost their minds, labeled it trespassing, and summoned the sheriff. What they never saw coming was that I knew the law inside out, better than they did. I pinpointed exactly where their road violated the city's protected floodplain, and I knew precisely how to bring the whole thing crashing down. They invaded my ranch assuming I'd roll over, but they forgot. This land has a way of fighting back. I never pictured retirement like this, rising before dawn to the scent of damp alfalfa, the gentle thump of hooves on frosted ground, the sort of quiet that feels hard-won. After 23 years in the Army, all I craved was peace, not emptiness, but the kind where the world whispers back. My ranch nestles in the hills 12 miles outside Willow Ridge, Texas, 160 acres of undulating grassland, a barn I reconstructed single-handedly after Mary passed, and a modest ranch house with porches that wrap around to greet the morning sun. The closest town is a dusty 12-mile haul on county roads. That's how I preferred it. Just me, 6 horses, a dozen chickens, and the odd coyote howling at the moon. I'd earned that solitude the tough way, and I protected it like a sentry on watch. So when that first rumble of diesel echoed across my back pasture on a Monday morning in May, I knew trouble had arrived. The noise was too near, too industrial, too out of place in these hills. I stepped off the porch, coffee in hand, and headed toward the ridge behind the barn. The sun was just peeking up, but I spotted the orange survey flags stabbing the ground in a rigid line, like arrows marking enemy territory. I tracked them over the dry creek, up the hill where the cattle graze, and there it was, 2 men in fluorescent vests and hard hats beside a fresh trench gouged into the red clay. A bulldozer idled nearby, its blade smeared with my earth. I didn't say a word at first, just observed. One guy looked up and nodded casually, as if I were the intruder on a worksite. "Morning," he called. "We'll clear this section by week's end." I sipped my coffee and eyed the trench. It slashed north to south, scarring my property. No warnings, no notices. "What's this?" I asked finally. "HOA access road." The other said, not glancing from his clipboard. "Willow Heights Phase 2. He paused, eyeing me. "We have an easement on record if you want to see it." I didn't want to see it. More than that, I needed to grasp how a homeowners association, a group of suburban bureaucrats dictating fence heights and lawn care, figured they could bulldoze through private ranch land like it was theirs. Back at the house, I unlocked the fireproof safe in the bedroom closet and pulled my original deed from 1983, boundaries inked in faded blue. My finger followed the southern edge where my fence met the scrub. No easement, no right-of-way, nothing. That afternoon, I made 3 calls, to my lawyer, a trusted retired county surveyor, and the county clerk. None had records of any approved project. By the time the dozer chewed another 50 feet into my pasture, one thing was clear. The Willow Heights HOA had no clue who they were tangling with. There's a gulf between owning land and being willing to bleed for it. I was raised on soil like this. I rebuilt this place after Mary died. I buried my dog Buster under the sycamore out front. This wasn't some stock portfolio. It was memories, sweat, and serenity. And now outsiders were trampling it in hard hats. That night, I walked the trench with a flashlight and camera, snapping every stake, every tire mark, every crushed blade of grass. I logged GPS cords until my phone died. Come morning, I hammered a cedar post at the trench's edge and nailed up a laminated sign. Trespassing on private property, violation of Texas Penal Code. Cease work immediately or face civil and criminal action. Robert E. Grant, owner. They ripped it down before noon. From the barn loft, I watched a worker chuckle, ball it up, and toss it into the brush like garbage. That's when surprise turned to anger. This wasn't an error. It was entitlement, the type from folks who'd never heard no. Over the next 48 hours, the trench morphed into a gravel road with culverts and markers. They worked fast, like forces advancing in hostile terrain, betting speed would shield them. Bureaucracy crawls, bulldozers don't. But I'd been trained for this, reading landscapes, predicting maneuvers, turning an opponent's haste against them. I knew their flaw. They pegged me as a grumpy old-timer with no spine left. Wrong. When someone rips your fence without asking, they're stealing more than dirt, they're erasing your history. And I wouldn't let anyone pave over mine. By the 3rd morning, I was ready. I stood inside my southern fence, arms crossed, boots in dewy grass, coffee gone cold. Their convoy rumbled in, 2 pickups, a grader, a trailer with a roller. The foreman I'd met spotted me and waved that polished HOA greeting, like we were all pals. I didn't wave back. He parked 50 yards away, clipboard in tow, and approached like it was his turf. "Mr. Grant," he started. "We got your notice, but there's a mix-up." "You're right," I said. "The mix-up is you thinking you're welcome here." He flashed a thin grin, the kind from someone holding aces. "The Willow Heights HOA has a filed easement for this path. It's part of the city's Phase 2 approval. We're just following through." "Show me." He blinked. "Pardon, you say it's filed. Show the paper letting you gut my fence and trench my ranch." His gaze darted to his truck. "The docs are with city planning, public record." I unclipped the digital recorder from my belt, clicked it off. "Good, because I was at planning yesterday. Unless there's another Willow Heights, your easement ends 300 feet shy of my line. The grin vanished. I've served your board president a cease and desist, I added. Next is a restraining order and injunction. Stop while you can choose. He radioed something and walked off wordless. That was their first crack. Afternoon brought a letter under my gate. Fancy cream paper, embossed Willow Heights Residential Council seal. Signed by Patricia Ellis, board president. It claimed pre-approval via city shared access deal and urged cooperation for community good. No sites, no maps, just pricey paper and patronizing tone. I read it twice, chuckled once, filed it by the coffee maker. Pull isn't power, and an HOA only rules inside its gates. Once they crossed to my dirt, they were just folks with clipboards. Next morning, I hit the county clerks with 30 years of deeds, highlighted laws, and a thermos the clerk, Martha Jenkins, kept topping off while eyeing the plats. They say Phase 2 access, she asked, tapping the overlay. I nodded. Then why's their road 20 yards into Section G? Section G was buffer zone, no man's land between development and private holds. Exactly. We copied everything. On the way home, I stopped at the Willow County Gazette. Editor Jake Harlan owed me for dragging him from a burning truck in Iraq, skimmed the file in 10 minutes. How loud? Loud enough to echo in their gated walls. Front page next Thursday. Rancher alleges Willow Heights HOA illegally seizing land for road. Page A 3-story with color photo of my ripped fence and the trench through green pasture. That afternoon, a white Cadillac with HOA emblem pulled up. Patricia Ellis emerged, blonde bob impeccable, slacks crisp, clipboard like armor. She unlatched the gate and strode onto my property uninvited. You've stirred things up, Mr. Grant, she said. Good. Maybe you'll quit acting like you own my ranch. We thought we had approvals. You thought wrong. There might be admin confusion. We could accommodate, finish the road, reseed your pasture, offer annual access stipend. I nearly laughed. They thought cash and sod would buy me. You don't get it, I said. This isn't money. That trench cuts through 30 years of my life. You don't wreck a man's land and call it confusion. Her lips thinned. She pivoted, got in her SUV, left without a word. Clear message, no stopping unless forced. And I was the force. If they'd build through my life unchecked, I'd show them the sting of tracks in reverse. The cease and desist wasn't bluster. Linen paper from a respected firm, signed by a 30-year land vet, filed with HOA and county. It detailed every foot past any easement as trespass, damage, Texas law breach. They dug anyway. Monday, I returned from town to find my southern pasture deeper gutted. Trench gravel lined, PVC pipe, concrete forms poured, rebar like bones. My hand-laid water line, post Mary, burst somewhere, muddying the cattle gully. 2 fence posts vanished. Groceries in hand, milk warming, something inside me iced over. I photographed everything, then drove to their site on Willow Heights edge. Their tidy sidewalks and bougainvillea mocked the red scar on my land. They wore yellow vests with HOA logos, like talismans. I parked outside netting, binder in hand, approached the flagman. Site boss now? He pointed to a guy in mirrored shades by a trailer. I handed the binder. Evidence. Ongoing trespass, livestock fence destruction, ruptured water line. Warned your board. Filed complaints. Stops today. He skimmed 2 pages, tried the line. Sir, public utility under municipal. No, I cut. Your plan ends 2 parcels before my fence. Check this morning. Every yard adds zeros to what your board owes. Shades off. He stared, radioed, waved me away. I'd warned again. Time to gear up. That night, neighbor Sarah Lopez called, voice quaking. They tore my split rail fence this afternoon. Rusty spooked, bolted into their ditch, limped bad. I was there before sunset. Her paddock cratered, tracks across arena, post dangling. Rusty, her big bay gelding, 3-legged. They fed me the same line, she whispered. Legal right of way. I gave her my docs. File tonight, vet bills, photos. We fight together. She wasn't combative by nature. Husband gone 5 years, kept to herself, but fire sparked in her eyes. Friday, trail cams caught a backhoe 40 yards inside my boundary at 3:42 a.m. Night shifts to beat courts, classic. 3 mistakes. Didn't know my military cams, IR, cloud backup, underestimated a rancher's fact speed, forgot my army passed building supply routes in hostile lands. I read terrain like sheet music, knew every ranch fold, paperwork hole, delay trick. And now their vulnerability. Paul Finch, ex-city planner I'd saved from a barn fire, called. They never filed past parcel 19. Punching 400 extra feet to West Loop, storm water forms blank. Concrete before approval? State eats them. Violations men inspectors, stop orders, leverage. At the kitchen table with bourbon and pad, I planned counterstrike. No more warnings, advance. Saturday dawn, ATV down back trail through cottonwoods to ravine where my spring-fed irrigation runs. Hand-trenched winter after Mary, keeps ranch alive in August. Hauling replacement pipe, spotted vests through trees. 2 men, GPS, stakes. 20 feet from intake, stake hit pipe with ring. I coasted silent, stepped out. Trespassing. They jumped. Younger dropped GPS. Sir, Willow Heights Infrastructure Committee. 50 yards inside my fence. No warrant, permit, invite. 6 feet from pressurized line. Rupture? Ambulance. We're scouting. Older said, palms up. Already violating. Pack up, walk. Younger bristled, notified. Corridor approved. Interfere? Board files obstruction. Obstruction from a civilian. I breathed. Son, 3 tours so folks own land without permission to stand. Turn or wait while I call sheriff. They stayed. I dialed. Sheriff Tom Harlan. Knew him from coaching his Little League days. Arrived 15 minutes. Lights off. Hand on belt. Morning, Bob. Issue. 2 contractors surveying my spring line. No papers. Consent. Tom took IDs. HOA badges. Studied. Pointed trail. Leave stakes. Take yourselves. Questions? Board calls sheriff direct. Till then, Mr. Grant's word is law here. They left glaring. Tom lingered. Getting bold. 3 calls this week. Sarah filed, her gelding limping. Racing clock, I said. Poor concrete prejudge. Tom nodded. Watch back, Bob. Spent money folks hate losing. I watched him go, stood by spring hearing gurgle. Pulse pounded. Afternoon, letter in mailbox. Notice of interference with authorized project, violation community agreement, 12.4. Framed it too. 12.4 didn't bind me. No HOA member, no dues. Ranch predated by 40 years. Bylaws as law, desperate. Forwarded trespass video to lawyer, added harassment claim. By dark, cams on approaches, steel posts on gates, motion alerts to phone. If they came, I'd know pre-boot. Wars aren't won by first swings, by tireless sides. I'd waited in worse for worse men. Next cross, they'd learn a rancher advancing, not retreating. I'd walked this ranch so often, knew it like my heartbeat. Post-rain scent, July cracks, north fence wind drop, where coyotes sound near. When graders pushed boundaries, I felt it pre-sight. Started with drone, bought 2 years back for coyote checks. Never thought weapon, but dawn, controller and coffee, launched like recon. Flew trench from southern fence past Sarah's, HOA buffer. Followed gravel west to Willow Heights gates. 50 yards short, glint on screen. Hovered, parallel 60 feet west, Old City utility corridor, flat, and used, faded red stakes. Remembered, 20 years ago, city condemned 20-foot strip for drainage. Never paved, municipal, not HOA. Drone banked. Unforgivable. Their gravel crossed it. 2 car lengths over city flood land, unpermitted. Landed shaking. Pulled plats, overlaid county GIS. Worse, overlapped 2 municipal tracts, skimmed protected watershed feeding subdivision creek. Not overreach, felony dumb, for K recorded. Drove footage to Paul at diner. He watched, whistled. No map reading consultant. Cost 7 figures if stayed involved. Finishing pre-notice, I said. Public Works Direct. Unauthorized on floodland triggers cease, deconstruction. Compiled binder, drone with GPS, overlays, tax maps, photos, cross-referenced. Hand-delivered to County Public Works, asked Dana Ruiz, senior inspector. 2 days, she called. Preliminary investigation open. If survey confirms footage, HOA violates 4 codes, 1 statute. Thanks. How long to shut down? Week if clear. Felt ground shift, theirs. Didn't stop. Emailed package to Lisa Chun at Gazette, who'd run 2 stories. Real. Every frame. Weekend headline. HOA road may violate city lands. Source alleges illegal build on public flood easement. Viral locally. Comments flooded with residents questioning dues. Monday, site empty. No machines. Trailer forlorn. Cone tumbling. Then Patricia returned. Same earrings. Clipped voice. Mask slipped. City inquiries. You're doing? Silence. Interfering with improvement. Protecting mine. Exposing not yours. City care about feet of dirt. Care about liability on flood easement sands drainage study. Color drained. Keep pushing, Patricia. Digs deeper for you. Bored. Trusting homeowners. No reply. Tire marks to county road. Power tipped. They'd overplayed. Built trap. I pulled pin. With county probing. HOA lawyers billing panic hours. I could have porch sat with beer. Watched boil. Not my style. Clean attack lane. Advance. Cleanest. Through their new loop road. 30 feet from North Barn Gate. Graded flush to my fence. No buffer. Setback. Asphalt kissed my property. So I kissed back. Small start. Instead 2-mile county loop for hay. Hooked trailer to ATV. Loaded 4 alfalfa bales. Back to pavement dirt meat. Filled erosion ditch with gravel till smooth. Crossed onto HOA loop. West past fountains and mansions. Out north gate to county. Half-mile saved. Message. Priceless. They saw. 2 dog walkers froze as I passed an army jacket. Dusty hat. Hay swirling. 1 phoned. I saluted brim. Rolled on. Afternoon. Again. With feed sacks. Morning. Paper and mailbox. Unauthorized use of private roadway. Exclusive to residents, guests, vendors. Trespass penalty. No sign, statute, just fear sent. Framed beside their torn notice. Day, for more crossings. Fencing, empty trailer, water tank, sunset cruise with radio blasting Willie Nelson on Cowboys, regrets. Documented, dash cam, GPS, timestamps, waved security cams. Baited 2 days later, empty return, black Mercedes blocked loop narrow. 2 board members in polos. Driver Bradley, banker smile, soft hands, from paper photo. Mr. Grant, reports of you using our road. Reports? Funny. Reports of you using my pasture. Maintained with dues, not public. Looked around. No gate, sign. Nothing makes this more private than county road. Implied. Implied ain't legal, son. Phoned out. Called law. Great, so have I. Footage, maps, sheriff speed dial. Let Tom decide. Tam paled. Eased around. Chaff on loafers. Home. Evening. Sheriff Tom called. Colorful call about aggressive ATV trespasser. You? If 30 feet on pavement touching my fence is aggressive. Tom laughed. Making you villain. Don't give clip. No posted restriction, gate, ordinance, you're fine. Avoid fountains. Promise nothing. Every tire roll reminded residents how board treated fence other side man. Not trespassing, auditing. Audit starting. Halls became HOA drama. Day after 4th, mailbox red flyers. Emergency meeting tonight, 7 p.m. clubhouse. Agenda 4, unauthorized roadway use. 72 point like ATV rancher apocalypse. Showered, shaved, collared shirt, drove Northgate 657. Parked dusty truck between Lexuses, entered like dues payer. Packed, 60 to 70 residents, contractors back, Patricia front flanked by board. Air, perfume, panic, burnt coffee. Sat last row, arms folded. Bradley stood. Move close to residents only. Raised hand calm. Objection. Bylaws section 8.2. Public on site. Allows non-member adjacent owners observe deliberations affecting properties. Not stakeholder, Patricia snapped. Slid plat to neighbor, room saw. Parcel 211B shares 211 feet with your loop. I'm owner, stakeholder per definition. Whispers, phones out, bylaws scrolled. Bradley swallowed. Observe, no speak. Wouldn't dream. Usual, mailbox violations, fountain bids, teal umbrella debate. Patricia cleared throat. Item 4. Ongoing unauthorized use by non-resident. No name, unneeded. Heads turned. Bradley. Individual traverses loop with farm vehicles. Not dues payer. Hazards. Where liability. Front woman. Rancher whose land road cuts. Patricia's smile strained. Approved corridor. Another. Approved whom? Paper says built across city land. Room chilled. Back mechanic stood. Straight. Tore man's pasture. Ignored complaints. Caught paving city sands permits. Now mad he drives 30 feet to barn. Snort laugh. Patricia controlled. Consulting counsel. Mechanic. Gate road wheel rip up. Purse woman. Dues pay lawsuits cause board can't map. Hadn't spoken, didn't need. They self-destructed. Patricia proposed temp gate north prevent incursions. Backman laughed echo. Luck. He'll cut through flower beds. My cue. Stood slow. Actually, don't need new. You flattened path. Bradley Scarlett. Out order. No. Section 8.3 allows stakeholder comment on adjacent items. This about me, I speak. Patricia slammed folder. What want? Silence 3 seconds. Pasture restored. Illegal road removed from my land, city buffer. Public acknowledge violation, in newsletter, minutes. Stop pretending victims. Third row clap, slow, faster. Half room applauded. Not me, truth. Patricia adjourned furious, stormed out. Walking truck, residents approached. One flash drive, 3-year minutes. Another apologized fence, noise, arrogance. Older gent shook hand. Thought they knew. Just spent our money. Nodded, drove under stars. Board wanted spectacle, got one. Villain. Mirror. Gave 1 week post circus. Apologize writing, commit restoration, schedule removal. Silence, lawyer's oil burn. Stopped waiting. First call Rebecca Klein, title attorney who'd shifted developer tennis court off tribal land. 2 bankers' boxes, deeds, drone, affidavits, vet bills, transcripts, threats. She read 43 hours, coffee ocean, called smiling. Catastrophically exposed. Easement ghost. Road overlays unpermitted buffer, watershed. Dictating, not negotiating. Music. 3 waves, Force County Act. Civil suit. Resurvey, steel monuments deep. Wave 1. Rebecca, notary, Mike Donovan, top surveyor, walked boundaries 6 hours, laser radar, inch-accurate GPS. Flagged encroachments, 12 feet here, 37 feet city there. Mike drove neon pink pins, concrete poured. Judge with eyes signs anything. Not dispute, crime scene paved. Wave 2 courthouse 902, Grant v. Willow Heights board it all. Trespass, nuisance, damage, negligent build, code violations. Sought TRO, injunction remove improvements, compensatory/punitives TBD. Wave 3, petition assessor emergency boundary fix per Mike survey. Felix Ramirez, assessor, walked line 2 days later. Saw 37-foot overlap flood control, hat off, stared like house afire. Straight to state environmental. Bury them. 48 hours, certified letter red sticker, cease desist, county/state Texas. All activities suspended pending review. Violations, daily fines, removal expense, criminal referral. Copied. Kitchen wall by Mary's calendar, other under site trailer wiper. Afternoon, Lisa dropped hammer. HOA stopped on controversial road. County confirms unauthorized on public flood. Comments exploded, debris photos, flood video post road, accountant audit launch. Clubhouse that night standing room. Didn't go, needed not. Mark, engineer insider, phone recorded. Patricia sleepless. Question sharp. Why pay Bradley cousin subsans bid? Ignore permits? Night work authorize? Backwoman, lose homes. Meeting early end. 2 resigned spot. Bradley absent, rumored lawyered, fled. Week later, settlement offer. Discuss resolution land concerns. Rebecca laughed coffee nose. Want meat? Coffin nailed, negotiating flowers. Friday neutral office. Me, Rebecca, 2 pricey defenses looking elsewhere. Lead danced. remediation, compensation, access pact. Rebecca slid demands. Full restore pasture / irrigation / fencing HOA cost. Remove every inch my land / city buffer. Public acknowledge violation newsletter / minutes. Pay fees / survey / vet / compensatory. Recess consult. Back 30 minutes pale. Accepted full. Begged soften unauthorized to boundary confusion. Allowed, not kindness. 3 articles, state probe, 2 quits. Ethics on Bradley made wording moot. They lost invading with clipboard / had as right to redraw fence. Left, watch dig own mistake scoop by scoop. Tear down cold late October Thursday. No fanfare. 3 weary men rented backhoe, flatbed signs. County inspector thermos clipboard. Started south where bit pasture. Clawed gravel like teeth. Jackhammers culverts, rebar screech, asphalt thuds dump truck. Fence line, arms crossed, watched every scoop. Sarah thermos coffee stood beside. Rusty grazed near, leg favoring but mending. Whole thing out. Every illegal inch. County non-negotiable. Head shake. Never thought see. Watched silence crew north, erasing arrogance bucket time. Reaching 37-foot overlap flood easement. Inspector deeper dig ensure no pipe. Noon raw dirt. For PM trucks gone, diesel linger. Looked pre-start, earth cleansed. Weak dominoes, state report, no permit / erosion / wetlands. Fines pending, Texas 6 figures plus. Assessor corrected maps, build HOA back taxes illegal occupy. Lisa Sunday piece. HOA board collapses scandal, leadership replaced after illegal road. Residents vote new governance / transparency. Old board gone, Patricia other opportunities. Bradley cousin firm lost license. 2 lawyered, vanished masthead. New President David Mitchell, soft-spoken Air Force vet fixed C-130s 20 years. First, mailed plain paper letter every home. Got wrong. Fixing. New board never confuses authority ownership. Hand-delivered second my mailbox unmarked envelope. Note, Bob, thanks holding line. Fence mended, literally / otherwise. Need anything, gate open, with permission. David, drawer with Mary's recipes. Settlement December, enough rebuild fences twice. New well, bigger thermal drone, chunk Mary's Veterans Trust. Rest seated winter rye / coastal Bermuda. Spring scars gone, greener strip topsoil turned. Still past north end of town. Loop ends abrupt orange barrels, yellow sign. Road ends, private property ahead. Asphalt cracks ashamed. Never honk / wave, just brim touch, roll on. Victories need no noise, just time, truth. Stubborn man standing till world admits right. First real post teardown rain early November, slow soak. Porch dawn, watch darkened soil where road tried live. Noon last gravel washed ditch, pasture swallowed mistake. War ended, not check signature, water old paths. Still ride fence Sundays like 25 with Mary, coffee, binoculars, check posts / wire / cattle like pulse. Now posts new steel concrete, wire 9-gauge tinsel, cattle graze unflinching engines. Irrigation hums spring clear / cold, hand-laid grief warm winter. New board kept promises, rebuilt south fence taller / straighter. Reseeded mix requested. Crew clean spring box / replace screen, their dime. David Saturday 2 teens, 4 hours pulled old stakes like nails on conscience. Finished, shook hand. Won't forget whose land. Believed. Sarah's rusty full recovery. Apple pie day he trotted sound. Porch sat sunbled hills. Changed everything no raised voice. Raised fences. Smile. Same here. Sheriff Tom monthly coffee, not enforcement. Last leaned cruiser, I'd healed pasture. Never thought HOA eat crow. Thought ownership paper. Turns out way standing. Laughed, cup trash, left salute. Settlement gone best. New well / gates / insulation barn loft wind howls. Scholarship high school land management / surveying. Married like, said land teach next care. Late nights coyote chorus. Walk north fence where road touched boundary. Asphalt dead, cracked weeds. 2 mic pins stand. Pink weathered rust, concrete solid. Left purpose, not trophy marker. Peace not war absence. Boundaries presence, all respect. Never wanted fight, didn't start, finished only way. Patience, proof, quiet refusal inch move, when told own ground not yours. Grass tall. Water clear. Cattle graze no shoulder look. Morning sun hills gold porch. Step coffee. Breathe alfalfa / horse / clean dirt. No marrow, landmine. Still always. No board / bulldozer / clipboard deed God changes again. Road gone. Story remains. And here, that's right. If this story hit home, especially on themes of injustice and the subtle violence of overreach in everyday life, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you dealt with similar power grabs or unfair systems? Take a stand. Was the resolution fair? Or does accountability need to go further in cases like this? Express your views. I'd love to hear them.